In this episode, we're going to look at pricing, how to price your service, okay? You'll have a price in mind and you'll want to look at your competitors, but don't think that you have to be the same as your competitors or close to your competitors. You're providing a service and the value of that service is what should determine the price, not how much everyone else in your niche is charging, okay? If you think of the car industry, a Ferrari is not the same price as a Fiesta, or a Porsche is not the same price as a Vauxhall Corsa, okay? You're providing a different product, a higher quality product, so you should price accordingly, okay? They both do the same job. They're both a car. At the bare essential, they get you from A to B, but one is a higher quality product than the other, so they price accordingly. You should value your service or your product exactly the same. Take my gym, for example. I'm not in a sports center. I'm not in a hired hall. I'm not using jigsaw mats or no mats at all. I've got a full-time facility. I have changing room facilities. I have shower facilities. I have the best quality mats that you can buy for my members, so the price is priced accordingly, okay? So when you're looking at what to price your product or your service, yes, scope out the local competition or the local other people in your niche, but don't let that determine your pricing. If you're providing a higher value service or a higher value product, price it accordingly. Once you've figured out what you want to charge, then you need to obviously have a way of taking those payments. And that's what we're going to discuss a little bit about now, because there's different methods of taking payments. In a previous video, I talked about CRM systems, and these payment systems can link to those CRM systems, so it's all automated. Ideally, you do not want to be doing this manually, because it is time consuming, it's admin intensive, and it can become quite a headache when at the end of the month or the beginning of the month when you take all your payments. If you're a monthly membership kind of service, that's a lot of work in one go, okay? So the more you can automate the process, the better. One of the ways we can do that is with direct debit systems, okay? I use in my business Go Cardless. It is a free to use direct debit service, and then obviously they take a small cut of the payments that you take, but the money it costs compared to the time it saves me is invaluable. It's well worth it. So it's all set up automatically by my CRM system. We take the customer's details, we then put in the date we want the payment to come out. It does it all for me. I don't have to worry about anything. And if there is a failed payment or something goes wrong with one of those payments, it notifies me straight away, and then we can look into it and find out what's gone wrong. So direct debits is a great way if you're on a monthly scheme or you do courses, like a paid course that's a subscription-based kind of service. Brilliant way to take payments, and like I say, all automated and nice and easy to set up. You can also use for not quite direct debits, but if it's still, again, a monthly service or a reoccurring payment, you can use Stripe. Now that's slightly different because it takes the card details and it just charges the card. But on the same premise, you set a date that you want it to take that payment, and it will then charge that customer on the set date you give it. And then it will take the payment that you've set it up to for that reoccurring payment. So Stripe is a card version rather than a direct debit version. So it's not a direct debit mandate. It will just charge the customer's card. If they change their card or it cancels, they'll just need to update it on the system. Then we have taken actual payments by customer card. This is really important because, especially the way the world is today, a lot of people pay on card rather than cash. And it's just convenient for a lot of people. So you need to have a card machine within your business. There are many out there. I would scope the ones that give you the best price, as in the amount they take off of each card payment. I use SumUp, which has been fantastic for me. I've used it ever since I started. Really easy to use. You just literally download the app on your phone or on your, we have an iPad at the gym that we use. You buy a little card reader. I think it was £20, £21 when I set it up, so not very expensive at all. Again, it's a free to use service, and they just take a chunk of any payments that you take over card. But like I say, we have uniforms, we have drinks that people can buy, finger tape, snacks. It's really handy to have a card machine because, as I said before, people like to pay with card. They don't have a lot of cash on them these days, so it's a really convenient option for our members. Again, there are more out there. Just have a little look across the board and see which ones work best for you, have the best percentage that comes off, and easy to use and does what you need it to do, okay? Ours is very simple. We just need it to scan and go. So we don't need any POS, point of sales or anything like that, or tills or anything like that. So if you need that, there are companies out there that do it. I believe SumUp also have that option, and you can buy better card readers with POSs and all sorts of things. The last one I would say is really important that we use is invoicing. So you need a tool to invoice people. So if we do a seminar or a one-off event, we can invoice people, and then that way we can take payments via an invoice. Again, you can get software that does this automatically for you, or you can create a template and just do a manual invoice. It would depend on how often you're invoicing people. So if, for example, you're a tradesman, let's say a plumber, you will probably do a lot of invoicing. So you want a much better automated system where you can raise an invoice very quickly, send it out. Once it's paid for, it will come straight back to you and you don't have to be chasing and things like that. And more importantly, if it doesn't come back to you within the days that you've set, you'll get notified so you don't forget about that payment, and you're making sure you're chasing up customers that owe you that invoice money. So I'd say have a tool for invoicing. That way you've got all your bases covered. You've got direct debits if you need a reoccurring payment set up. And again, Stripe if you've need the card option version of it. Stripe also have an invoicing system as well, I believe. We don't tend to use the Stripe one because we raise very little invoices, but it does have an option on there. So if you've got a Stripe account, you can do invoicing and your recurring payments on there. Card machine, definitely needed for those little payments and little bits and bobs that you might sell or add on to your sales. So having a way for customers to pay by card is a great thing to have. And invoicing, as I've said, if you are doing lots of work where you have to give a customer an invoice and give them so many days to pay, if you're doing lots, get some invoicing software so it does it all for you and can chase payments, etc., and notify you when payments haven't gone through. If you're doing one-off invoices here and there, then you can find templates on the internet that you can use and then just adapt it how you want and then throw out that invoice as and when you need to. They're the main payment systems we use, all automated and all runs through my CRM system. So my Go Cardless runs through my CRM system, my Stripe account runs through my CRM system, my SumUp machine is separate, but that all is its own little system. And then, like I say, I very rarely use invoices, so I just raise them manually. But if I did invoice on a regular basis, again, I would probably use the Stripe invoicing option on the account, and then that way I can automate that system as well. So a little bit of a short video today to help you with how to take payments once you've got your business up and running and you've decided on your pricing. And like I said right at the start of this video, pricing is super important, but don't undervalue yourself. Too many businesses undervalue their product or their service, and it doesn't reflect in their price. So you must value yourself and your product or service you're providing. Price it accordingly. Don't try to undercut other people or match other people, and then you're massively undervaluing what you're giving people. So it's better to value yourself at the start and start at a good point rather than having to put out your payments and then all of a sudden you realize that you're way too cheap, and then you're having to put your prices up, and then those people that have come with you at the beginning are now having to have price increases. It's better off to value yourself what you are worth at the start rather than down the line. So as always, if you've got any questions, pop them in the comment section below. As always, if you're liking the content, please like and subscribe because it helps me help more people, and I'll see you on the next one.